What's up, guys? Brian here from Team Blind MST, here with Dan's top 4 Blackwing deck profile. Go hard.
I played one Sirocco. He can boost himself or others up by targeting, but they can only attack. He's really bad to draw if you go first, so I only opted to play one.
Now, how's that going to change for the next format or after the next set?
When Cliffos or Clifforts, whatever you want to refer them to, he becomes better because he makes any Blackwing be able to get over Killer. So, I mean, you can summon a Gale off of him and use his effect to target himself, and he'll go to 33 and beat over Killer, so he just becomes more viable. This is the boss of the deck, Shura. When he destroys a monster by battle, you can special one with 1500 or less. There's a combo with him to make Leo that I'll show you. Basically, you always want to open Shura because Shura plus Whirlwind is always the best because Bora is probably the second best, and you can grab Bora. 3 Bora, because he's an inherent summon, which helps fuel rank 4s, and he pierces, which sometimes you take for granted, because he'll pierce for like 1,000 or 1,400, and that's what you'll need at the end of the game with a Kalute to win, so it works in your favor.
Getting that Ultra reprint.
Finally. 1 Zephyros, because you can only use his effect once per duel, so you can reuse Fiendish Chains, or just get another summon. He's really good first turn if you have an Icarus, because, like I said, you can just summon him back.
Explain real quick, because there was something came up with a ruling about him, or something happened with him.
His effect to return a card to the hand to special himself is cost. So even if I activate his effect, I can still return my Fiendish Chain. So if you chain Vanities, I might not get the summon, but I still get my Fiendish Chain or whatever card I opted to return to hand. But I can't use this effect, and you don't take the 400 life if he doesn't get summoned, but it still costs to return the card, so I got what I wanted. 3 Kalute. It's the hand trap. You use him. He boosts any Blackwing to 1,400. You can drop it on a direct attack. You can drop multiple copies to go higher. He's actually also really good with Whirlwind because he searches you your Gale, which is probably the best monster in the deck, or Blizzard, which next format you can run 2 Blizzard. Well, you can always run 2 Blizzard, but you can run 2 Gale now. And now you can run 2 Blizzard optimally, so he's amazing, obviously. The 1 Gale, because the new format hasn't switched over, you can target 1 monster, reduces attack and defense, which is really good, because Gale alone can get over Dante.
Hey, fuck you.
And it's really relevant, because after Dante goes to defense, it's huge, so him by himself. Plus, he's an inherent summon, and if you special him back from Blizzard, he might only go to defense, but you can still use his effect, so it makes Blizzard be able to get over anything that's 25, under 2,600.
How do you feel about him going back to 2?
I think it makes the deck actually pretty relevant, to be honest.
You say so.
1 Blizzard, he specials any 4 or lower. He helps makes level 6 synchros and level 5s, which only play 1 level 5. But I play 3 level 6s, and they're all pretty relevant, so I like him. I'm going to bump him up to 2.
Ultra reprint, baby.
The 1 Cloak, when he leaves the field at any time when he's face up, I get a token, which helps prevent from being OTK'd sometimes. And once per duel, you contribute a monster or his token to special him, so he makes a Leo combo with Shura. So it's really good.
Have you ever thought about taking him out?
Never. Not ever since I put him in, I love him.
Good.
And he's a 3-star tuner. I play 1 Kochi. A lot of people don't like this card. It was alright with Beals, but now that Castella's out, Beals is awful. And he was just another target for Shura to go into rank 3s, but he's going to be taken out for the second Gale for sure, so he won't be in after this. The Dad is extremely relevant anytime. Extremely relevant anytime you can drop him.
Do you ever side him out?
Never.
Really?
Never, ever, ever.
I feel like he's such a bad draw of the late game.
Yes, he is, but it's just he's a win condition in his own if you can get him.
Fair enough.
And I opted to play 2 Max C in the main deck.
How'd that go?
This card went hard today, and it usually always goes hard. I love this card in the main deck. I don't like siding into it because, at worst, this is always an Upstart Goblin with potential to be more.
What rarity is that?
It's super.
Something about those supers. Dan always has a Maxi. Whenever you go to make a play, that guy will always drop Maxi on you.
Well, the thing, when I first came back into the game, my buddy actually told me to buy Blackwings, which was about 2 years ago, because I used to play when I was younger, and I bought the Tour Guide tins, and these are the Maxis from the Tour Guide tins, so...
Those things go hard, apparently. Are you going to take it out for next format, or is it going to be kind of something you always like to just have in the main deck?
I'll have to see, depending on how fast Cliff Forts be or how relevant they become. The engine, the whirlwind, they grab you one with lower attack when it's summoned. This thing got MST'd or dragoned almost every turn, so it didn't resolve a lot.
That sucks. You still got top 4 with it.
2 duality. I never ran duality, but I realized that you have to be able to get the whirlwind, or even sometimes getting to a monster is a struggle. You'll open up 4 or 5 back row with like an Icarus, and it makes it horrible because Icarus isn't usable, obviously, without a monster. So this is really good if you open up a whirlwind or a monster and you need to get to the whirlwind.
What have you thought of playing 3? Some people play 3.
Yeah, I have. I've been struggling whether I want to put it in.
I don't like 3 pots and anything, honestly.
I play 4 one-ofs. Play the Lure, the Book, the Mind Control, and then the Soul Charge. I know Soul Charge wasn't a one-of as of the tournament, but it's going to be a one-of. I've always played 1 in this deck. I like 1. I've never considered playing more. This card is absolutely amazing in this deck. It's just all my... I think I have 5 tuners. Book Moon's Book Moon, and the Lure's more draw power.
What's your top thing to usually like allure? Like what don't you...
Kochi usually gets a lure. Or Sirocco if I go first, because he's just unsummonable.
Right.
I play 3 Fiendish Chains. I kind of really want to play Breakthrough Skills, but the fact that I can reuse Fiendish Chains with Zephyros or Vulcan, so I can potentially use 5 Fiendish Chains in 1 duel.
When do you side that out?
I side this out when I side multiple copies of Skill Drains and just Floodgates, because all my side deck is all, like... It's all continuous floodgate traps, so sometimes there's just not room for 3 Fiendish Chains.
Plus, I feel like it's bad against like the Shadal matchup or something that can like pop it easy with Dragon and stuff.
I never side out 3. I always side out maybe 1, so there's always at least 2.
Okay.
3 Icarus attacks. I believe it's the best 2 for 2 in the game with potential to make your opponent neg. Obviously, you can neg now because everyone's running around with trap stuns, but it's not bad. I like it. A lot of people play 2. I just like 3.
So you've never had a reason to want to bump it down to 2?
Sometimes I side it out, but very rarely.
Okay.
I played 2 Delta Crow. Some people don't even play this card, but I think this is the card that makes this deck somewhat relevant because it's a heavy storm for your opponent's back row, so Heavy Feather Duster for face downs. I want to play Trap Stun because this requires you to have a Blackwing monster on the field, to use it. So if they solemn your monster and they have 4 back row, you're pretty screwed. But this card was probably the MVP of the whole day if I had to pick one MVP card because this constantly plussed me 2 or 3. I would Delta Crow like 3 or 4 every time I used it, so I definitely would not take this out. I played 2 Vanities because it's easy to create Vanity locks with Key Beetle, which I didn't do once, and it's less relevant now with Shadals because they have a Compulse, and Compulse is mained in like every deck now. So this is pretty much just good against like everything now, which everyone's playing 3 copies or 2 copies.
Did you ever side it out?
I actually sided it out a couple times. I even sided out against Mermails, which was kind of bad. But the card I sided it in for was Skill Drain, and Skill Drains did the most amount of work. So maybe I could have found something else, but I didn't want to go neg with this. With the Mermails, because Mermails already create enough advantage. I had to keep up with them.
It's hard for him to neg you. He has to have Pike. If he doesn't have Pike, he loses.
I play 3 one-ofs. Compulse was amazing all day. Solemn was average. I wouldn't take Solemn out, even though it's not amazing right now. But this is by far the best one-off right now. Bottomless did horrible. I think I only hit an Alu card, and that was it for the whole day. But other than that, this is going to come out for maybe a 3rd Vanities or a Geki. I even considered Trenchel. Trenchel's not very good either right now.
So no Trap Stun and no Wiretap. How do you feel? Like, do you want to put either of them in?
I want to play Trap Stuns while I play the Delta Crows, even just to turn off my own Vanities.
Right.
So I don't know. I put Bottomless in right before the tournament for the Wiretap, and I did not miss Wiretap at all.
That's fair. You only ran at 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Extra deck?
Extra deck. I played a couple rank 4s. I played Exciton, which I never made. I should have made this.
Yeah, explain this, because you somewhat brag about never making it in that deck.
I made this instead in the semifinals, thinking I'd go to 32 over a Leo, but I miscalculated and went to 29 and lost, and I should have made this, but it is what it is. The Key Beetle for Key Beetle blocks. I'm actually probably going to take this out because I never make this thing. The only other play this is good for is to make a Leo and then attack attack with this, and then main phase 2, just target your Leo, which I could do anyway without attacking because it's your opponent's cards. But Castell, this card, I made it a couple times. I actually sent someone's, the one that searches the tour guide at the end phase. Or
Scar?
Scar. I actually sent Scar back, so it was really relevant. Plus, it's an Icarus target. I'd consider playing 2. I don't even play 1-on-1 anymore.
Yeah, what's, really quick, because last time you made a deck profile, I think it was a couple months ago, you guys all had this discussion about how
1-on-1's better because it protects. It's just the fact that you can bounce face-up spells and traps, too.
I said when that card first came out, it was better in every way than 1-on-1. It just outclassed 1-on-1. It's much more versatile.
I'll be the first to admit I was wrong and this is better, so you got that from me.
Yeah.
I played Abyss Dweller because I think Abyss Dweller is a staple 4. He's good. He was good against the old meta. He's still decent in the new meta. It's
amazing in the new meta. Card. Someone made it against me. The Style Knight player made it. Game 2, she made it against me first turn. I was like, that bitch. That's just mean.
Cowboy, because this deck struggles to OTK without that extra 800 damage sometimes, so Cowboy. Plus he gets over OP. I don't know, I'd actually consider taking this out for something. Do
you play Harlan Draco?
I don't.
Would you rather play the Cowboy?
I might.
Because I have
Is Harlan Draco a winged beast?
It's a dragon, but I have a rank 3 Heartland Draco, and I always make it.
I only played 1 5 synchro Armades. He's amazing. I want to play 2. It's just like there's too many Phoenix Wing Blasts and Karma Cuts and just things that get rid of your monster before it attacks right now. So 1 is fine. It did a lot of work today, actually. I played 3 6 synchros. I played the Armed Wing. I play him because he just helps fuel OTKs because he pierces. And plus, if he attacks face down or a defense position monster, it goes to 28. The Goyo, because it's huge. This was extremely relevant. I made this all day. And Vulcan. Vulcan was made, I think, once or twice, but when he was made, it was very good. I bounced, I don't remember, I think it was a Burning Abyss monster, Scorm or whatever. I didn't want him to get the tour guide, and I reused the Phoenix Chain, so it was just really good.
It's gross.
7s, played 3 of them. I played double Black Rose and an Armor Master. He's part of the combo with Leo that I'll show you.
You never make him just.
I actually made him once to get over a Majesty's Fiend.
Oh wow!
So it was relevant because I would have had to crash with a Black Rose. This is going down to 1. I did make this once. I'll probably play the new Moonlight Dragon instead of this because just 2 Black Roses isn't really real right now. I played 1 8. I played the 1 Crimson Blader because I took out Beals before the tournament. I felt this was a little more relevant because Sylvans were still had Soul Charge to 3, and plus if you kill like a Shadal, I guess they couldn't use Fusion. But this was irrelevant. I might even take this out. I might opt to play no 8s and just focus on more XYZs or more synchros.
You're taking out Kochi, right?
Yeah.
So your ability to make 8s goes down considerably.
Yeah. This is probably the best synchro in the entire deck. He's really good. I have a couple ways to make him, but the best way is a 1-card combo with Shura, which is just like this. I even consider playing 2. Like I can make 2. It's just so good. And then I see 1 World Token. Side deck. This was incomplete, but it's almost complete for next regional Saturday. I played 2 Delta or DD Crow. I wanted to play this in the main over Maxi. I'm glad I didn't. It's a alert target, it's an Icarus target, and it's a dark for Dark Armed, and it's just good to get rid of their cards. This actually saved me the game in the semifinals before I misplayed. I wouldn't even have had a chance to misplay if I didn't stop his title.
Yeah, you banished title from Grave?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I played 2 Nobleman. This is absolutely coming out. I tried. I'd asked everyone for diffusions. Couldn't get them. This is just too slow. Diffusions are better. This 2 diffusions would be instead of this slot. Didn't come in at all. I played 2 copies of MST.
Do you main deck MST at all?
No.
Oh wow.
I don't think I sided this in once. And if I did, it was because someone was playing like I don't know, just like Shadow Imprisoning doesn't hurt this deck that bad, so I don't really have to worry about it. The only thing that really hurts this deck is Vanities, and like I have 3 Icarus for that. So I don't necessarily have the special. So, I mean, I think this came in once or twice. 3 copies of Light Imprisoning, because against even Lightsworn Shadals, which are a big thing right now, this came in at 2. I cited 2 of these. Because Lila and Raiden are too good if they mill. Like Raiden Mills 4 in total and Lila 3. So like the chance of them hitting something is extremely relevant. And I actually flipped one of these on a BLS, which if the BLS would have had its effect, I would have lost. And this was really relevant. Like Satellar Knights, Boojins, this is amazing if you can afford to run it. Obviously, if you're a dark deck or not light. Played one Ceasefire before it went to 2. This was like kind of like my tech for locals. I couldn't get, I forgot what card I was going to play over this.
Dirge?
It was going to be a Dirge, but I didn't want to play Dirge anymore, so I think this even might be a 3rd Diffusion or 1 Chain Disappearance. 1 Soul Drain, I sided it in almost against everything. Shadal's Burning Abyss, I just never seen it.
Mermails?
Yeah, Mermails too. Probably the MVP of the side deck. I sided it in even against Shadal's and Burning Abyss. Just for the fact that, like, I don't need my effects on the field. I know Shadal's really don't either. And Burning Abyss don't either because they go off. But, like, they just don't have power plays. And my power plays are better without effects. And Mermails, too. It was extremely relevant. It was extremely relevant. And 2 Warlord, which got sided in against Burning Abyss, Mermails, Frogs. Like, this card did work all day, too. So I would keep this in.
So explain your matchups.
For round 1, I played Lightsworn Shadal's, which I 2-0'd. He drew really bad game 2, but game 1, I just, he had BLS. I just drew Dark Arm. Dark Arm beat BLS in that situation. And then round 2, I played Frogs, which I 2-0'd. I sided like 11 cards. They were all floodgates. He couldn't do anything against a Leo. 3, I played Shadal's once again. He top decked BLS. When he had no cards on the field or no cards in hand, and I had 2 monsters, and he only had like 1,300. He top decked BLS, and I lost. It's a real thing. And then 4, I played Burning Abyss, went to game 3. I had too many floodgates for him. Like I said, I sided 2 Rival, 2 Skill Drain, a Soul Drain, just too much back row for him to handle, and Delta Crow just went too hard. And then semifinals, I played Mermails, which I guess technically I should have beat him if I would have made Exciton, but he ended up beating me. So that's my profile. I'm going to take this build besides Kochi and probably Bottomless and add a Gale and a Blizzard. So that's what I'm taking to regionals next Saturday.
All right. Well, see you then, guys. Hopefully someone in our team tops and we get more mats or more invites.